Hello and welcome to my podcast. My name is Claudia and this is the second episode of the Knits for the Soul podcast. This is a podcast mainly about knitting, but also about the books I read, and I like to journal as well. So there might be a ton of things or only one of them in the upcoming episodes. I have no idea about which frequency I am going to be able to publish. I live in Germany, in the eastern part, central Germany. So if you have a bit of a geography knowledge of Germany, my village is situated close to the town of Halle, and that itself is about 60 kilometers away from Leipzig, so maybe that gives you a hint where I'm located. This podcast today is very generously brought to you by last night's snowstorm, or the 50-60 centimeters of snow we have in front of our house, which means that my son is out and sleighing on a nearby hill with his friends. Two boys, just the house next to us. And so it's peace and quiet and good light. And so I thought I will just use this opportunity to talk your ears off, as you might notice. That's what I do. If you hear weird noises, this is our dog Evo. He is sleeping right there, and he tends to groan and sigh very loudly when he's sleeping and I am here and talk. So this is also a weird thing when I'm working. I'm also working from home and I'm in a Google meeting or whatever with colleagues or our clients, and the dog lying next to me, and and the microphone is really good, and so the client is, so what was that? So I'm sorry, it's our dog. And then I'm taking the webcam and so look down there, he's lying there, and then the client, oh cute. Well, good riddance. I am not prepared, not at all. I have no idea what I'm doing. Though this is not my first podcast. I had one a couple of years ago when I was self-employed. I actually owned a yarn shop with a cafe, and I had an audio podcast, and I also uploaded a couple of YouTube videos. And I think the last one was in 2016 or 17, I'm not sure. But when I took out all my equipment and thought, I'm going to give this a try again, I found an unpublished episode, which I recorded in my old shop. So I'm sitting in, for the people who know that and came to that shop. The Stitch and Bitches and all the regular customers, they will remember the epic sofa corner. And I found this on my camera. So oh my god! And what did I talk about? And still things I really like to wear, like shawls, for instance. Let's see. I thought about stealing bits and pieces from that video, and let's see where I put that. Anyway, for today and for this new take on of a knitting podcast, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm nervous and I have no idea if the sound is even good or if you understand me well. I have a table right next to me, next to my, let's say, impromptu desk I have in my living room, which is actually an antique sewing machine. and that's where I usually write letters or just do a couple of journaling stuff. I'm not doing that on my actual desk I have in my bedroom. That's where I work. That sounds weird. Yeah. And I have tons of stuff here, and I hope I remember what they are and who designed it, and so I can give you all the necessary info. Or the yarn, oh my god. I will of course put in little text thingies everywhere, and probably also little pictures somewhere here, like I did in the last episode. Which reminds me, thank you so much for all the feedback. And yeah, I had no idea watching my dog running through the snow is so interesting. I will keep that in mind, and yeah, edit lots of Evo footage into my videos. He's a really fun dog. He's a smooth fox terrier, and we bought him in last summer during the summer holidays, 9th birthday in July, and we thought it would be a good idea at this age to get a pet. And we were thinking about cats actually too, and then we were wondering if they're not too passive for an active 9-year-old. So we decided to get a dog and started researching which kind of breed, the age, maybe going to a rescue center and get a dog there. But at that moment there were only huge dogs in those centers, like shepherds and, you know, those big bulldog things, yeah. And I thought I was not quite fitting. So by chance we found an advertisement in a pet app, and we went to Thüringen, Thuringia, I think it's in English. I think it was a 4-hour drive, and we went there, and the lady who wanted to give the little dogs in your home, she lived up a mountain, and you couldn't get there with a normal car, so you had to take some Jeep kind of car, like an off-road car, yeah. So we waited for her down in the village on the bottom of the mountain, and she came to take us up there. It was a very bumpy ride. I was really scared, and then she had to do some kind of maneuver to go around a bend and park the car right in front of some ravine. And I thought, oh my god, we're going to fall down that thing, and oh no! It was my life. Oh. So we survived, as you will see. And then she showed us to the pen with the dogs, and we met the parents. Also fox terriers, both. The mother was pure white, and the dad was white and had little black dots, like a Dalmatian. And yeah, so then a lot of little guys and girls running around wagging their tails, and we decided on Evo because he was sniffing around my son so strongly, a lot, and there was a hint that might be a good idea. So that's the same we did when I was a kid and got my dog. And yeah, and the cool thing was he had this very cute little brown spot right above his tail on his bottom, and it was so cute. And yeah, so we got Evo and took him home. He threw up in the car the whole time because they had a breakfast like an hour before we arrived there. So yeah, it was an interesting way back. And yeah, now they're friends, and he's a very energetic dog. He's got lots of strength. It's sometimes it's a bit scary. He's very into cuddling as well, and yeah, and he's knit worthy. I also knit him a sweater last autumn, and he wore it out. So a knit worthy dog. And he always wants to cuddle and sleep on the yarn as well, which is, I hope, after all that babbling, a good introduction into what this podcast is actually about. Knitting. For the soul, because I'm knitting for my soul, to have some kind of conscious dealing with all my emotional building sites. So there's a lot going on. It has been for many years, and since I started knitting, I mean for real, it really kept me sane. And because of knitting, I met so many amazing people, and I have no idea what would have become with me, what would have become of me if not for them, if not for knitting to soothe my soul and all the issues I have to face on an everyday basis. I mean, we all have, yeah, so everyone has his or her own luggage to carry, burden to carry, you know, there's a saying. Anyway, so here's a shout out to my Stitch and Bitch girls and boy. Thank you. I'm so really grateful and happy to have you, and here I am again. In addition to our Saturday digital meetings, you can watch me talking your ears off again. Okay. I don't have any finished objects for you because I am a lazy, slow knitter this winter. So before I come to the WIPs I'm working on, I will just show you two pieces I love to bits and actually wear every day. So one I finished, I have no idea, in sometime in autumn, or I don't know, last year, and I wear it every day, also inside. I can't live without it, and it's really keeping me cozy and snuggly and warm also during the home office hours. So I'm working full-time as a single mom, and well, I'm working in customer service. I have a really great team and really cool and amazing colleagues. So it's actually a really nice job. I love it. Yeah, so in regards of what I did before in my life, all that weird stuff and things here and there, it's also strange but a lucky coincidence that I ended up there, and I'm happy about it. I really like that company. I like all my colleagues. They're wonderful people, and so it's really a joy to work with them and also to coach them. So that's what I actually do. I do lots of administration things for that project, and also talking to the client, and yeah, well, teaching and coaching the new hires, and also coaching the staff themselves. Yeah, there are new things and stuff like that, and yeah, that's what I do. And it gets kind of chilly when you're sitting at your desk the whole time. So when we are working in the office, I'm not sitting still so long. I have to go places there, like go to all the agents. If someone needs help, I have to go to meetings and whatever. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah. So it's an office job, and yeah. So, but then I was just running around all the time, and now you have this at your desk, and you have the meetings in yeah, just digital way, and yeah, you're sitting all the time, and that gets chilly. And I wanted to keep my neck warm, and so I always wear shawls and stuff like that. But when I saw this garment or this accessory on Instagram, I really thought I need to have this. And at the same time, there was some wonderful, wonderful worsted weight yarn to be had in Lerke, aka Fiber Tales, Etsy shop. And she had a batch of Gotland yarn spun up, and I grabbed 2 skeins of that. And I've knit this collar. So I'm also putting a picture here where you can see it better. I'm putting that on as well. So this is, I can't see that. So I knit that double-stranded, and I really love it. So you may think that the Gotland is too scratchy, too rustic, but it actually isn't. I have this on my bare skin, on my neck and everywhere, so I don't mind at all. I knit it up, and then I just soaked it in lukewarm water, let it cool down, and then I just yeah, got the soap out and everything. And I don't know if you can see that. It has this halo, this fluff on it, and it's so cozy and so comfy and wonderful. The collar is the BP1 Kragi or collar. You can buy on the Einrum website, and let me just check for the name of the actual designer. Her name is Björk Pétursdóttir. I'm sorry if I pronounce that incorrectly. And yeah, so you can also buy an Einrum kit with it, I think, but you can purchase the pattern in itself, and I'm really happy that I did. So I think on Ravelry are a few colors that are quite similar to that, and also for free, but this one was really fun to knit, and the pattern was very clear, and it's definitely not the last one. Yeah, I'm knitting. It's really a joy, and I was thinking about knitting one in an alpaca, maybe also a bit thinner, so just for, you know, when you have chilly summer nights or spring nights, so that you can have a little layer around your neck. So, and where's my camera? There's my camera. Can you see that? So these are leather buttons with little foxes on them. Yeah, so I thought that was quite nice. So and this collar was actually designed to have it with snap buttons, so that you don't see them, but I like the combination of gray rustic yarns and brown leather. I like that. And the idea behind it is that you just unbutton it, and you don't have to ruin your hairstyle. Well, you can't ruin anything here, but I never unbutton them. I'm just taking it off and on. So, but that's actually the idea behind that. It's a very good idea. I'm just not doing it. I'm a rebel. No. Okay. yeah, so I'm wearing this all the time. I'm not sleeping in it, but well, who knows. And then there is another project I love, and I'm wearing it a lot. So I have tons of shawls, and there are actually just this one and another one I'm wearing constantly. So I'm usually in autumn time, and when spring is not so chilly anymore, I'm wearing the Ingwer shawl by Melanie Berg. I've knit that up in, I think that was De Rerum Natura Ulisse, in that amazingly beautiful yellow. And then this shawl, which is the Immersion shawl by a German designer. Her name is Sabine Frisch. I will link her because it's a wonderful pattern. I loved knitting it, so it never got boring, and I'm also wearing it every day. Yeah, especially when I go out with a dog for a walk. So I have that collar on, and then I'm just wrapping that shawl around me, and then the coat over that, and it keeps so wonderfully warm. I was honored to do this as a test knit. Oh, sorry, my hair. And I've knitted with a German yarn, actually. So in my town there is, that's a dog. Hi. In my town there is a weekly market with all kinds of products you can buy, and there's a lady selling her yarn in her own booth, and she is buying local wool and has it spun, and then it's just small batches, yeah, really small batches. And this yarn was all the yarn she had in that color. So it's undyed. It's a German merino. Those sheep are just for grazing. So they're living on some farmland, and they're just there for grazing. And when they have to be shorn, so she is like salvaging the yarn. So usually the farmer would just throw it away. So, and she got wind of that, and that started her business, that she's just going around and got a bigger network to, well, save the yarn and has it spun up. And I think she also has some dyed yarns, and you can also buy just a fiber for spinning as well. I'm not sure. Yeah, so then I bought this yarn. I will also put pictures in, but this is the shawl. And as you see, you have just some garter stitch. It's just a normal triangle. And then there is this stockinette with the bubbles, and then you have a really nice lace border. And I don't remember what kind of edging is in the original pattern. I did a little picot bind off because I wanted to have this, yeah, little whimsical detail on there as well. So, and then I'm just wrapped in this, and yeah, it's really nice. And it's also, though those sheep live in central Germany, and I'm not sure how they're tended to, if they're, well, maybe now held for yarn, and I don't know if they do some extra breeding. I have no idea. It's really soft. So it's not an Australian or South American merino, of course, but there is nothing scratchy in it. It's really wonderful. and it was cheap. I think I paid €7 a skein of 100 grams. That's really nothing. It's nothing. Yeah. So this is actually my favorite shawl next to the Ingwer. I have several Melanie Berg shawls, but as I'm a sucker for everything that is mustard yellow, the Ingwer in that Ulysses yarn is my favorite. I also have a shawl by her, which I knit out of my own hand-dyed yarn. I should love that more, shouldn't I? Anyway. Okay, so these are my favorite knits forever, but especially this winter. And I have a couple of whips I want to show you. So speaking of yellow, I'm knitting on the Lumi socks by Lerke from Fiber Tales. I have one finished. Oh yeah, here's a little bobbin there. I need it later for reference. So it was the first time I did a Latvian braid. I have no clue if I did that correct. It doesn't look so nice, like in the pattern or in the pictures I saw online. I think the second one was a bit nicer. I don't know. So yeah, this is actually like some kind of last minute knit you can do on a 6mm needle with that bulky yarn. It's 100 meters on 100 grams. But I really had not so much time to knit the last 2 weeks, so I'm only now on the second sock, but I'm knitting the decreases on the gusset. So also top down socks are not my usual go-to sock. Creation way, I don't know. So I'm usually knitting them toe up. So but as this is a thick yarn and there are only a couple of stitches I had to take up, it is not so bad. So but my aunt and my cousin, they already like, yeah, they will get a pair as well. So as I said, I'm knitting them on a 6mm needle, just as the pattern suggests, I think. And I use some Hjertegarn Naturold. This is, yeah, that is the dog, and he put in his 2 cents now. Which is 100% wool. You can also use this for felting, I guess. And I have lots of that because I stocked this in my shop when I still had one, and I thought I will just knit up a couple of pairs of the Lumi socks. And if you go to my Instagram, I will link, which is still called Die Fadenliebe. So Fadenliebe was the store I had first with a friend and then on my own. I had in my hometown, but I think I'm going to rename this like the podcast. So just like ending a chapter and beginning something new. So if you head over to my Instagram profile, you see tons of yarn pictures, and I'm giving away a lot of yarn. I'm too lazy to like eBay it, you know, and it's just, it's boxed up and it's safe, so there's nothing on it or anything. But especially during these times and with Corona, and people are suffering the consequences financially mostly. So I thought I will give away lots of my, well, store leftover yarns for free or for a very minimal price, like €3 or whatever. So there is lots of stuff over there still available, and I'm really happy to gift you that just for the fee of shipping to your place. I don't care where you live, so if you cover the shipping costs, so you can have it. And for a pair of the Lumi socks, I'm knitting the large size. You need 1 skein, 100 gram skein per sock, so that means 2 of them. And well, I'm giving them away for free, so just check that out. And there are other yarns available, natural yarns, very nice ones. And yeah, so maybe something for your stash. I also do like to swap, so I got quite some sock yarn gifted from buyers and that's really nice. So I got a lot of colors I can use for Harry Potter socks for my son, and I also got lovely other colors I'm going to use for scrappy socks or for yeah, some Fair Isle stuff. I'm really looking forward to that. Yeah, so I aim to finish my Lumi socks tonight so I can wear them and have warm feet. And that was my cue to show you the other thick yarn socks I've knit. That is actually the only WIP for 2021 yet. But they are in my bedroom. I have to go there. I'll be right back. So now I'm better prepared, I hope. So my son is back and he brought his 2 friends from the neighboring house with him. Though they are 2 rooms away, I'm afraid we're going to hear them. Let's see. Well, I talked about the Lumi socks and the other bulky socks I've knit. So when Inga from the Knitting Traditions podcast started her stash along, knit along, stash along, I thought it was an amazing idea, a really good idea to use up yarn. And I found this pattern on Ravelry, which is actually a drops pattern, so it's free, for some very easy thick socks. So what were they called? What was the name? Ah yeah, confetti socks by Drops. So here they are. They're very worn because I'm wearing them because I'm wearing them every day. Though I wear hand knitted socks, I get cold feet when I'm sitting at my desk the whole day, and I thought it's a good idea just to have another layer. And here they are. I used, I think, 4 or 5 strands of sock yarns, all kinds of yarns. So I took out all the leftovers, like everything I had, and put that in a huge ball, and then just grabbed a new little bobbin when one ran out. So, and this is why it's so very colorful. And the second sock looks completely different. Still very colorful, but not so very nicely pink goldish like here. I really like this color. It's a rather green. So all the green in here is from a hand-dyed sock yarn I got from my friend Margit from the Little Cabin Knits podcast. And this is, the colorway was called Aloe Vera, and it's a hand-dyed yarn from Frau Odersocke, a German hand dyer. Yeah, but there are lots of other things in here, Regia and Opal and all kinds of leftovers and bits and pieces from sock projects. So, and yeah, they were done really fast. It's just a 2x2 rib, as you can see, and there is no real heel. I did some alterations, but I forgot what I did. I have this in my knitting journal, I think. I'm not going to look that up now. As I said, and I warned you at the beginning of the episode, I have no idea what I'm doing here. So you just knit down here, yeah, and then you have this garter rib on the bottom, but it's a free pattern, so just look it up, the confetti socks from Drops, and it's really easy. And my son asked me if I would knit him a pair as well, and I actually have still leftover sock yarn, not much, but I guess it will be enough for a pair of socks for him. Let's see. And I got lots of other sock yarn gifted, so and I think there will be some stuff left over from them as well. Yeah, so I wear them over other hand knitted socks. I have no idea how I will edit and snip this episode together. Do I say that? Anyway, but I took a photo each day of the socks I'm wearing, so I'm putting that somewhere here. I have no idea where, but you will see them. And yeah, so when I'm sitting at my desk, it feels like there is some kind of draft below the desk. I don't know if that's possible because there's nothing on either side that could create a draft, but just feels that way. So I'm wearing them on top of the normal socks, and it's really toasty, it's nice. Yeah. Okay, then I have whips. I want to show you. Whips. Works in progress. So the Lumi socks are one, and because they're on big needles, I need something in on smaller needles, so I'm knitting normal socks. This little thing I sew myself. I think there is also some free pattern. I found that on Pinterest. But to sew a DPN cozy, it's really no science or anything. And this is actually a dishcloth. And it was remaining of something. I have no idea what else I did with it, but it was just a little scrap, so I did that. Yeah, so I have, and I think you saw that on my first, on my 0 episode, where I knitted a bit on my Marianne socks by Ambrose Smith. Yeah, it was her. So I have to remember that the camera is over there and the buttons of everything are over here. It's kind of confusing. So here is the first. It's still the first sock. So as I said, I have not much knitting time the last couple of weeks. So you have a little lacy braid on one side, and then this alternating little ribbing here, and I think they're actually knit top down, but as I don't like that, I knit them bottom up and just use the chart. So I won't do the heel she is suggesting in the pattern, because I always do my own. Well, it's not actually my heel, yes, but the one I found out fits my feet very well. I think it was a couple of years ago. Let me check that. As I said, I'm not prepared at all. I have to scroll down my Ravelry page a bit. Still scrolling, still, there it is. It was in 2017 that I test knitted the Lilies of the Valley socks, also by the amazing Sabine Frisch. Her Instagram name, and I think on Ravelry the name itself is Frisabi Knits. And so the Lilies of the Valley socks are lacy socks, so pretty, and I've knit them in a Wollmeise sock yarn in the wonderful colorway Gloire de Dijon. So I think I bought that in the Wollmeise store, or when they have their sale, so I went to one of their sales. I also did stock them when I had my shop, so it's a really good yarn, and I will pop in a picture of those socks here and also link them, of course. And the heel Sabine is using for these socks is the heel I'm knitting in every sock since 2017. And that's what I'm going to do with these as well. So the yarn is nothing fancy at all. It's a grocery store yarn, self-patterning, and I bought this last year. I don't usually go to that grocery store because it's huge and I hate shopping, especially grocery shopping, but I don't like shopping in general, especially, for instance, shoes. I hate buying shoes, it's horrible. I could buy yarn all the time, of course, and books, and I guess I'm not so weird with like other things, like gadgets or, you know, some stuff like that. But books and yarns, yeah, they always work. And I went to the store because they have a big variety of sweets, and I only go there when I want to buy sweets for a friend of mine. She also has a podcast. She's a booktuber. Her channel is called Books of the Wild Waters, and she has a really amazing best of 2020 books out right now, and just check that out. Yeah, so I always go there to buy her sweets because she's living in England, and yeah, so I was there and did did my usual grocery shopping as well, so to save time, and that's when I stumbled over this. Yeah, somewhere near the checkouts, I think. And I thought I like those pinks, and I'm just going to, is it focusing? If I go out of the picture, yeah. So I like the pinks and the beiges, and then you have those specks. And it's really nice in here when you knit it up. I really like that. And yeah, so I think it's really not, as I said in the other episode, it's not the best, oh, I wrote it, the best yarn for this kind of pattern, but I just started knitting that because I was bored knitting, stopping it. So yeah, these will take a while, though I have, I think, 2 or 3 other sock patterns in my Ravelry queue I really want to cast on, and it hits me on a regular basis that I get this starteritis thing and I cast on tons of stuff. It's horrible. I'm not getting anything done, so I try to refrain from that and finish things. It's some kind of New Year's resolution, one I have every year, and it's not working. But let's see. So I'm not giving up hope. And as I start things, I have another VIP. I started out of, let's say, necessity, or well, because I got annoyed. I have this really nice store-bought sweater. It's knitted and it has lots of nice texture on it, and it's not a natural yarn, I don't think so. There is no label in it anymore, and the sleeves, they tend to shorten after a couple of hours of wearing the sweater, and this is really annoying. I thought I need to do something. I want to have something on my wrist. So I thought about knitting some wrist warmers. I actually have a pair of grayish, purplish wrist warmers somewhere, but I don't find them. Can't find them. They're gone. I have no idea where they are. So I cast on just a generic rib. As you see here, it's a 3x1 rib, a 3x1 rib. I don't know why I did this. I just did. I thought it's fun, so I did. And then I had 20 rows of ribbing, and I was thinking, okay, just to have this just in stockinette, it's so boring. I want to do something. And I actually wanted to do some, is it Latvian embroidery, where you have the floats on the top. And there is a really nice wrist warmer pattern, or I think is it a mitten pattern or something, by Alex Bird. And I thought, oh, that's so nice, I should do that. And I got out some leftover yarns I wanted to use for that. So the camera's over here. So this is Lana Grossa linen something. It's merino and linen, and I've knit a hat out of this, popping up here. And this is what remains, and I thought I could put that in that gray. Looks nice. And I also had some shoppel, yeah, shoppel yarn. So they're usually doing sock yarns, and they have other yarns as well. So this is a recycled wool. So when they do their Zauberball sock yarn balls, when they spin it, so they have lots of fiber like falling out of the machine and whatever, and they don't throw that away. So they just kind of take that on and spin another yarn out of it. So I don't think you can see that really. It's a brownish, reddish, and with greenish and blue specks in it. It's really nice, and I would love to have a sweater in that colorway. So this was just a test ball I bought like eons ago. So they still have this. I think it's called Shoppel Relikt. Fitting, I guess. And yeah, so this is ball up because I unraveled stuff. I had another project where I used that in, but I frogged it, and but there the texture and the colors were really nice. So I actually want a sweater or a cardigan out of this. What did I want to say? I forgot. Anyway, so yeah. Then I thought, okay, I'm a bit too lazy and I'm tired, and I'm really not in, yeah, well, I don't have the mental capacity at like 9 o'clock in the evening to start Latvian embroidery. So I thought, why not do some broken seed stitch with this yarn? And I started this, and I didn't really like it. And then I did 2 rows of seed stitch, or broken seed stitch, not 2 colored, but in just 1 color. And then I thought I should rip this out. But I'm too lazy. And now, yesterday I saw on Instagram a really nice post from someone I follow, and she's doing embroidery too on knitted items, and she had those really pretty flowers embroidered on something, and I thought, that's nice. So I'm back to just going to, well, knit stockinette and then embroider it on, I think. Let's see. So this is well, some half-assed plan for this. Let's see if I pull through. I don't know. Maybe I just rip it out completely, because when I'm at the point that I decide on it, the winter might be over. So then I have a very, very long time WIP that is actually almost completed if I would invest a couple of hours. So it is a shawl. I started in the first lockdown last year, and it's the Together Apart shawl by Melanie Berg. You actually use two skeins of the same yarn in two colors, and you knit it alternating. So you have the main color, and then you use the other one and have the little well, lines there, and then you do it the other way around and gift one to your friend because you're together but apart. And I cast this on my mom's 5th death anniversary. Do you say anniversary then? Well, it was 5 years then. And I cast it on, and I used a yarn I bought the year she died. So in 2015, I went to the Edinburgh Yarn Festival with a friend, with Margaret from the Little Cabinets podcast. And that's where I bought lots of yarn, and I didn't do anything with it up until 2020, when I saw this design by Melanie Berg, and it was my mom's. It was the 25th, and I saw that, and it reminded me, and I thought, if I use this yarn I bought like 2 months before she passed away, and it's like we're together though we are apart. So this is so the main color are 2 100-gram skeins of West Yorkshire Wensleydale. Yeah, and the colored parts in here, so there are 4. Yeah, they are Baramu Titus, and I had the little minis pack I bought from them, and 1 skein in the natural undyed color. Which because I ran out of the Wensleydale, I started using, I started using somewhere here. So if you look very closely, and if the light is falling correctly, you see that is, yeah, I think now you see it. It's lighter than the Wensleydale. So if you had the skeins next to each other, it was not that visible, but here it is. But in the end, it's, I don't care. So I forgot what I said before because my son came in. Maybe we hear them, they're still in the kitchen. I think they're raiding the fridge. I wonder what they're eating. Hopefully the vegetables, but I don't think so. Would be fun, wouldn't it? Oh my god, green stuff. Yeah, So yeah, I thought it was, I don't mind that it's a bit of a color change. When it's done and I'm wrapping it around myself, it won't show that much. I really don't care, so I want to knit this up as well. It's a really wonderful yarn, so I'm a bit miffed I don't have more of it, and now we have the Brexit. But as I have my friend in England, I was thinking maybe once in a while I will just send a package to her, and when she's coming over for a visit to her family or something, so she can have an extra bag with like 10 pounds of yarn for me. Yeah, so it's also a very, very nice project for the memory of that trip to Edinburgh for me, because, oh sorry, so this is the chair I'm sitting on. It's a bit rickety, I think. So I really loved that trip. It was the first time I went to Edinburgh and to the Edinburgh Yarn Festival, and we had a really good time. So this is another memory I will have when I wear that shawl. Yeah, so these are my whips. Whips, it's a W. I have another one. It's a cardigan I cast on 4 years ago. At work, actually. So I was in a different project then, where I had lots of time during the actual work, and so I could knit. Well, my team lead I had at that point, before I became a team lead myself, he is really cool. So I was sitting there and knitting, and then I might get a call, and I was keeping knitting, and I'm just telling the customer like what to do. So that's when I cast on this cardigan. It's the Mayhem cardigan by Ossa Tricosa, and I'm knitting that in, I put a picture here, I'm knitting that out of Hjartegarn again, the Lima yarn, which is, I think, is that a worsted? I'm not sure. And I am, at the moment, I am where I attach the pockets to the body, and I had to reorder yarn because I almost ran out, and I still haven't knit the sleeves. So it's a discontinued yarn actually by now. It wasn't 4 years ago, of course, and I didn't think it would take so long, and I'm still not done with it. I started knitting it because I was called in the office. The project we had was located near the corridor, also where a elevator was, and it was a bit drafty there, and I thought I have to knit something woolly and just wrap myself up in yarn, and that's when I started this. And I think I was at the stage to divide for the arms, for the sleeves, when I changed projects and became a team lead myself. So there was tons of work, of course. And I put it aside, and I also had not so much time to knit at home at the time. So I only pulled it out once in a while, and then I knitted, and one skein was gone, and then another. I thought, oh my god, I have to reorder that yarn. And yeah, that took months again, so until I finally got around to do that, and I did last year. And I bought, I think, another 500 grams. So I don't think I will need all of it, but yeah, just to be on the safe side. So yeah, since then I used up the remaining yarn I had, and as I said, I'm at a stage where I connect the pockets on the body, and yeah, now it's again laying around. Yeah, it's a bummer. It's a really nice jacket, and I actually want to wear it. It would be a good idea to wear it when it's a bit chilly, also here in home office, but I'm a lazy knitter. Yeah. So I decided I will finish my Together Apart shawl. Sock projects are no real projects for me, so they go all the time. So that's okay. And then I'm going to finish the Mayhem. And only then I will allow myself to cast on another garment. And a garment I want to cast on since last year, about this time I think, is it's a cardigan as well, by Sari Nordlund. Nordlund? I think so. Let me check that. Yeah, Nordlund, yeah. So she is Sari_N, I think, on Instagram, and it's the Fleurist cardigan. Again, here. And I bought the pattern right when it came out because I saw it on Instagram, because I follow her, and it's so gorgeous. And I also have the yarn already with me, and because I didn't want to play yarn chicken, I bought a couple another skeins of it when Lerke, again, Fiber Tales, had another batch up in her store. So this is again an organic Gotland. There is a bit of a Falkland merino in it, and yeah, it's a charcoal colorway. So I can't wait to knit this up, because I love the other batch I bought from her. I have in that color, and just thinking and dreaming about having this in a cardigan, and that's just heaven. So yeah, I really have to be a good knitter and finish my shawl and my Mayhem cardigan, which is on a 4.5mm needle. Can be done. So I will cast this on. I also have so many other projects I really love to start. For example, I want to knit, let me just check the name, yeah, the Tabula sweater by Maya Müller. I already have the yarn for that. So I think, let me just see, do I see what I wanted to use here? No, I don't see that in the app. But it will be some grayish, mustardy, yellowish combo. I'm so looking forward to. That's what I really want to knit up. And I also started last year the Ulm shawl by Trenaneli, and I knit that with some Finkhof yarn and some other really nice yarns, and I got, I don't know, I think I got like to this, I don't know which part of the pattern it was, but I had a couple of repeats done, and I didn't like the drape of it, so I've rocked it, and I have to think about another yarn combo, what I would like to do. So I have some really lovely Falkland merino undyed, just in natural colors. I want to use, but yeah. So these are really on my wish list. A couple of socks, the Damson Gin socks by Ambrose Smith, for example, and I really want to knit the Sixpence socks by This Handmade Life. They're really pretty. And was it Nupun Nupun, or there are these really, really lovely socks where you alternate the knit through the back loop. It's a knit through the back loop and ribbing. Oh, how is that called in English? I forgot. And you have like blocks of this, and then you just alternate it, just one stitch to the side, and it's really nice. Let me just see if I find this. Oh yeah, it's Nupun Nupun, exactly. So I don't know what they are called, but I'm just wizarding them there, so because yeah, whatever. As you see, I have no idea, so this is the third clip now because I had to stop once in a while. I have no idea how long this is, and I'm just anyway. So yeah, so knits are really good for my soul, and I'm happy that I'm laughing a lot here. And all on. So I actually wanted to dive into my stash with you, but I think I will do that another time because I have only one box with me right now, and I just want to show you something I want to knit this year as well. Then probably for the next winter season, because before I get around to do that, that's probably going to yeah, it's probably going to be summer, but well, anti-seasonal knitting, you know, for the next season, whatever. Never mind me. I bought, Instagram is so horrible because well, it's my own fault. I follow all these amazing people. I bought yarn. Treated myself to some yarn, and I bought 4 skeins, but I'm only showing the 3 of them, of Rain Cloud and Sage origin. So this is the undyed yarn. This is the origin. So it's a 3-ply merino. It's a German merino. Yeah. So you have a 200 meters on 100 grams. That's a DK, right? Yeah. And then she cooperated with Woolen Twine Fiber Studio, and she plant dyed her origin. And I bought the forest colorway and the fox colorway together with these. Yeah, they're in the picture. They are in the picture. No. And what I want to do with this is some kind of colorwork cowl and hat. I forgot how the pattern is called. I fell in love with, but I will again put this here and link it. That's what I want to do with it. So in the pattern, it's like a little bit more neon or fluorescent colors that really pop, but I want to have this in a, well, more subdued, natural, earthier color scheme. Sorry. Yeah, so that is what I bought them for. I have 2 of these. So that was a real treat. And when I came, it's like, oh, yarn. Yeah. So, and I also bought from Rain Clouds and Sage, a bit before that, I bought the Nord yarn, which is also a merino, and some, how do I say that in English? Is it what is Friesland in English? some northern German milk sheep breed. So this is the Nord in the colorway. Does it say? Oh yeah, it's stone fruit. So it really depends how the light is. So, but I don't think this is really showing. Is it the same? No, it's not the same, but fits quite nicely. And I bought one of these and these. So I want to knit this up together. Sorry, for the crinkling. So this is 350 meters on 100 grams. And here, obviously, so you see 5 10 gram skeins, I think. And yeah, I want to knit this together into something. I have not really made up my mind what it will be, but it's going to be amazing. And then I got some yarn for Christmas, and this is again some really wonderful memory, because when I went to the Edinburgh Yarn Festival in 2015 with Little Cabinets Market, I bought some spinning fiber. I bought some roving, and because I took up spinning at that time, just with a hand spindle, and I thought, oh, this is quite nice. I would just play around with the colors, and I never got around to do it. So Margit started spinning for real with on a wheel and everything, and on spindles as well. So she's really good at this. And I thought, this is just lying around in my place, and I gifted it to her. And the wonderful girl spun it up and gifted it back. And I have now these amazing colors and amazing hand-spun yarns. So this is, these are 2 colors in one. So there was some turquoise and some sea green, and she spun it together. It's so beautiful. It's like, well, it's yeah, you see, it's not one weight throughout, but it's really nice, wonderful art yarn. And she made these little pretty tags to it, but there's more. Who said that? Oh yeah, I think that is Caleb. Is that Caleb from the Bearded Purr podcast? He's saying that there's more. Wasn't it him? I think it wasn't. So then there was this beautiful gray. I think it's very warm gray, but my camera is not really getting that. If I put this next to my sweater, I think this is more the color it is in reality. And then there is the red currant color. Now that is popping really, but it's blowing out. So it's difficult to show the real color, but it's very bright, so beautiful. And then the best color ever, a mustard yellow. So I so love this. And she did a little test spin, and there is this little nupsie as well. So beautiful. And I can't wait to knit with these. I'm not sure what I will do with it, but it's going to be something very special. So to spare you the noises, I'm just leaving that all out here. You don't see that anyway, I do, but there's nothing better than to see lots of wonderful yarn, isn't there? Okay, so this was a totally all over the place episode. I'm sorry. So if you're still around, thank you. I hope I will have at least the Lumi socks finished for the next episode, which I hope I'll be able to do next weekend, depending on noise, light, and if I've had time to knit. Okay, so I say thank you for watching, if you're still around in this very, very long episode. Let's see how long it will be after I camera and editing it. And I hope I didn't forget any links and pictures and show notes. Oh my god. And maybe there will be some footage of the dog and the snow. Let's see. And yeah, well, I hope to see you soon. Thank you. Bye.